I remember my Uncle George. George, the older brother of my mom, was a Lutheran pastor. And whenever we visited, we as kids with the cousins, we were roaming around. We were all over the place. So we came rushing around and ended up in his office. And lo and behold, on his desk, he had a skull. Exactly, it felt like my eyes were popping out. Ooh, what's going on here? What's going on? Well, I never asked, was that skull real or not? But the skull for him was in the tradition of the so-called vanity-style paintings, where you have a reminder that, yes, we're mortal. We don't live forever. Now, this skull was not meant to scare kids. And it wasn't about to scare him either. But it was a reminder that when we realize and recognize on a deeper level we do not live forever, that helps us live more fully, more meaningfully, and more purposefully. Knowing my time is limited and is very precious helps me use it more wisely. And you have heard the saying, carpe diem. Usually it comes together with memento mori. So remember your death and seize the day. Or seize the day, be present because you know your life is limited. So not to scare us, but to kind of wake us up to how precious, how valuable, how beautiful life itself is. And I think that's what Psalm 90 also is about when it says, count the numbers of your days for you to become wise. So it's kind of becoming wise. In his book, Being Mortal, the surgeon Atul Gawande points out that our medical system mostly is out to extend life as much as possible and to push for independence, independence, independence forever. Versus focusing on quality of life, on comfort, on what makes life livable, what makes life beautiful, to be with family, to be at home, enjoy the meals that you love instead of hospital food. I was shocked to hear that up to 15% of cancer patients still receive chemotherapy during the last 2 weeks of their lives. So you know, or the physicians know, you have only 2 weeks to live, and you still get chemotherapy. Just doesn't make sense. So how can we talk about what's inevitable that will die, and how to live with meaning and purpose, with beauty, with joy, with comfort, with family, with that what we treasure for all of our lives? Why try to push that all away and maybe be in the hospital and trying one more last effort, heroic measures and whatever? Just doesn't make sense, does it? I remember I was 8 years old when my granddad, that was Walter, this was George's dad. So my granddad Walter died. I was 8 years old. And what I remember most was the great silence that kind of covered all of our household. It was not talked about, and I was the youngest, and I felt like, what's going on here? I'd seen my mom dress in black, my dad wore darker clothes, and I did not go to the funeral. I wish so much someone had talked to me. I wish so much I would have gone to the funeral. I wish so much right now I would have asked questions. Mom, tell me what's going on. I did not know how to do that. So I wish I had the opportunity to say goodbye to my granddad. I did not. But I deeply believe that children know how to deal with death and with loss and with grief when there is someone grown up to be with them in that. I think we as grown-ups know how to deal with death and loss and grief if we have others to be with us in and through it when we're not on our own in it. It's so important we talk about our limitations and talk about death for life's sake, not for death's sake, but for the purpose of life, for living more fully and meaningfully. For me, knowing that, yes, there is an end in sight, no matter when and how that is, makes my life more precious, makes it more beautiful, more wonderful. It's almost like, wow, it is precious every single day. So how can we deal with that? I have 3 things I've seen people do or I've witnessed. One is my mom, as she was aging, she started giving away the heirlooms, whatever she had gotten from her parents and so on. She started giving them. So we had this beautiful pendulum clock on the wall. I remember my dad always winding it up. And the full hour, it always sounded the chimes and all. So at one point I saw it, the empty wall there, and she had given that to Conrad, my middle brother, because Conrad is the one who just loved tinkering and fixing things. So that was a special gift to him. Christian, the oldest brother, he got the furniture. Yes. Some beautiful old pieces, but he stayed in the same location, so there was nothing like, how the heck would you put some furniture on the boat to get it to the US? No way. So he got stuck with the furniture, some of the beautiful old pieces. And what I and Sigrid and I got was some china and some silverware. They thought, you can pack that up, you can take that with you. So every one of us got some special pieces that remind us. So she didn't hold on to these forever, but while she was alive, she passed things on. So we don't have to hold on. It's okay to let go and pass on. And to do that while we are alive, what a special gift that is. The second thing is, I've not found one person, maybe there is someone here who has no regrets, ever, no regrets. We all think back often, don't we? Kind of, oh, I wish, or had I just done that, or so on. And I think it's so beautiful to take the time and to, instead of just pushing them all away, looking at them, feeling them, and then letting them go. We all have them. We all have demons. We all wrestle. And the Bible is full of that. Jacob wrestling at night with the angel, with a demon, with a man. We don't even know who it was, but it was this life and death, this wrestling. He didn't know if it would overcome him or if he would overcome. So this kind of, yes, to face and do the reckoning and look inside and think like, yeah, that's me also. That's part of my life also. Versus trying to push it away or blaming it others or whatever that is. So, and in that regard, for me, the serenity prayer is just so meaningful and so beautiful, so deep, because it's challenging us on all things. One is accept the things you cannot change. Duh, yes. But then also the courage. My gosh. We're called to be courageous, to face it. You can never face or deal with things you don't face. You can never change things you do not face. So facing them comes first, and then the wisdom and to know. And the third thing is, and we discussed this in our confirmation class, and I know what it is like. Sometimes I'm on my phone, and I feel sometimes almost like cursing whoever that guy was who invented the never-end button, so you don't have to, what is it called? You scroll, forever scroll, it just goes on. So in Pinterest, for example, it goes on and on and on, and after a while I'm thinking, what are you doing, Dietmar? I got hooked to it. Yes, hooked. And we were talking with the confirmants. It's really uncomfortable to let it go. It's not that easy because it's almost like letting it go and being in the here and now. Be here now. Just be present. You don't need the device. It's okay to be bored. It's okay to be all over the place and to gather yourself and to come and be present with yourself, with your body, with those who are in the same room with you, just being present here now. So for this Lent, for this season of 40 days, and we do not count the Sundays in that. So it's almost like during the old time of fasting and all, they said, 40 days, it's a long time, 7 weeks. We can't take away the Sundays too. It's enough 6 days per week. So the Sundays are meant like a small hiatus. There's still small resurrection day through the fasting. And then we go for another week. So it's the 7 weeks without the Sundays makes 40 days until Easter Sunday, April 5th. So for this Lenten season, I invite you, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Breathe deeply and slow down. It's okay to slow down. Open up and pay attention. Not just to your device, but pay attention. And look inside as well. Because only in the here and now when we pay attention, that's the only time and place where God can meet us.